welcome to Special Grade Snacks, a Jujutsu Kaisen watch-along podcast. We're your Special Grade Snacks. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kay.
And we have finally, after a long and arduous journey, many episodes happened, we have reached the end of the Young Boys Gojo High School arc.
The much anticipated, all we talked about, Gojo High School arc, only 5 episodes.
5 episodes. I was watching this with Neve last night, and she was like, wait, is that the end of the Young Boys Gojo High School arc?
Those boys, they get in and get out.
Yeah, and I was like, yes. And she said, that wasn't even a whole core.
It's crazy that they did this. Yeah, so we're doing the episode now, only one episode to talk about, because they put a core split here, which is like, it makes sense for the way that the story is about to go, but it is like very atypical for anime.
Yeah, because, anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, like, did, like, what, 13 and 11 last season?
Yeah, they, like, slightly atypically split, but it was whatever. But this one, I mean, this is how the arc splits.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people were like, oh, how are they going to adapt the Young Boys Gojo High School arc? And they said it in those words. And they said, are they going to make a Young Boys Gojo High School arc movie? But they already made a Volume 0 movie. And they were like, well, what if we did 5 episodes and then took a big nap?
Yeah, what if we did 5 episodes and took a very long-deserved nap? Because
they need this nap.
They put a season's worth of pussy into these 5 episodes.
Oh, absolutely. And I believe they're going to keep cramming pussy in there.
Oh, yeah.
After they wake up.
It's not going to stop. The thing is that, like, I reached the end of this episode, and I saw my friends Itadori, Nobara, and Megumi, and I was like, oh shit, my friends, that's right.
It's so easy to forget our cherished friends.
Because we've just been living in the world of young boy, and then like I see Gojo with his blindfolding, and I'm like, who's this fucker? Who's this?
He looks so stupid with the blindfold. Put your little glasses back on.
Absolutely sauceless. At least get the fucking tape back, or like the wrapping back.
I hated the wrapping.
Oh, I think it's like
the way
he
was always swaggy. Fingering it. Nah, can't be.
Getting up in that russie.
He was. No, the little fucking John Lennon glasses are where it's at. For sure.
No, that is like primo Gojo. I need him to put them back on.
He has like his other like oval glasses, no sauceless glasses.
I'm trying to think of his oval glasses. Oh, I know the ones you mean. I do know the ones that you mean, yes.
Yeah, no, we need the little circles.
Little circles.
That are pure black, you can't see through them.
The thing is that, like, those things have become so much his eyes to me that, like, with, like, they slide down his face quite regularly, and, like, I am looking at his glasses and not his actual eyes, in order to, like, perceive his vision.
Yeah, I believe that's how he lives his little life.
Yeah. Yeah, we watched one episode, and
it's called Premature Death. Do you think that means anything?
Yeah, it's Le Petit Mort.
Oh, but premature.
Yeah.
No, that's classic Gojo.
Listen, there was a year-long time skip between that last episode and this one. A lot of bad things probably happened, but I bet there was at least a handful of Le Petit Mort.
I mean, yeah, they're like, 17 or 18?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yes.
It happens.
I don't know, what's French for large? Le Macro Mort? Not unless you're gay, man!
Damn. Yeah, you can't have the big one unless you're gay. That's true.
I mean, really, what happened? What happened to Toji this season except for the big death?
Ooh, they really put a hole in him in a new, non-sexual way, unfortunately.
Yeah. A perfectly non-sexual, brand new hole in life. Toji woke up and said, ooh, I'm going to kill Joe Budden because he's trying to make a brand new hole.
They said that man was so sexual that there was no way to put a non-sexual hole in him, but he found it.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about this episode.
Yeah, so I was kind of going into this. I will admit that, like, I was having a really hard time, like, getting. I don't know if this came through at all in the last episodes. Like, I feel like I was doing pretty good at keeping up appearances, but, like, I was having a really hard time, like, connecting with this material in a way that I was when the last season of anime recorded, or when I read it myself. In a way that I wasn't exactly having an issue with when we did the season last time when I read everything. And last night, I had just been like, I've been dealing with some depression. You know how it is. But last night, Neve and I got turbo stoned, and we watched the episodes of the arc that she had not seen yet. So like episodes 3, 4, and 5. And about partway through like near the end of episode 3, I was like, oh my god, that's right. The story is really fucking good, actually. Like, I was a little bit worried, like, coming back to doing this podcast that I'd, like, burned myself out on it. Because, like, I have been lukewarm at points about where the manga is currently. I think it's coming to a good, decent enough end. But, like, I really burned myself out on it. I got worried about, like, oh, is this even going to be, like, enjoyable? And then I remembered, oh, no, wait, actually, this is good. This is good. There's lights, there's colors, there's Suguru Getou.
However you deal with your depression, it's always going to be better than him.
Yeah.
But if you were really depressed and a hot woman came to you and said, you can murder everyone, it might make you feel better.
I don't... She psyoped him into blowing up a building. She MK Ultra'd his ass.
But we'll talk about what the fuck Yuki did.
Yeah, yes, we'll get there. But this episode was really, really good. And it made me very emotional in a way that I like. Honestly, like, this made stuff like, I am not as Sanosugu brained as you are. I don't think anyone could physically possibly be.
It's all that's up there, baby.
Yeah, it's really all you have. But like, because I was like that, I was like, I felt like mildly checked out, and then like I'm watching the episode, I'm just like, oh my god, this is the saddest little boy that there ever was. And
He's
then
so
Gojo has to learn some very sad news, and then he becomes the saddest boy there ever was.
Sad boys. Oh, okay. Let's go through the episode.
Yeah, we just get the raw open of the OP, and then we cut to Gojo. Gojo's friends throwing things at him.
That's 1 year later.
Yes, exactly. 1 year has passed, and
1 year of coping.
1 year. I don't even know if what Ghetto's doing could be called that.
The way that the instant you see him, he's just like clouded in shadow, biggest bags under his eyes, and no facial expression.
He looks as though his width has been reduced by 75%. Like, not that he has lost weight, but just that he looks like narrower by 75%.
He looks like his like soul has been removed from his body.
Yeah. He looks like in anything where like this, like he looks like in any like series where the soul is a separable thing from the body. Like when the bad guy pulls the soul out of someone's body and it's like, oh, they're still alive, but for how much longer? You can see them waste away.
Shambling corpse.
But it's fine. He's doing great. Gojo explains that he has discovered a way to he has permanent uptime of Limitless and can only because like the way he shows this off is he completely prevents a pencil from hitting him but gets donked on the head by an eraser that Shoko throws at him.
Pencil's quite sharp.
Yeah, pencil sharp, eraser donk, not very sharp. And he's like, this is very hard, but thankfully, this is very hard. It's making my brain deteriorate at a rapid rate, but thankfully, I'm giving myself perma-Alzheimer's by just growing back my brain using reverse curse technique. I'm fixing it,
yeah. So he's, like, filtering out things that can or can touch him.
Yeah.
And he's also going to try to make it filter out poisons, but that's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's in the next patch.
Who's going to poison Gojo? This is crazy.
Right?
He is always eating his little treats.
The thing is that, like, I think the only way you could reliably kill Gojo, like, genuinely, I think that, like, anything else, the only way that would work is if you, like, fucking Princess Bride poisoned his ass. Like
if you tricked him into a little game?
Yes, exactly.
I think that would work for sure.
Absolutely.
The only problem is he would fucking pull a Wesley or whatever, and he'll already have a tolerance to every poison.
Yeah, it's been 7 to 8 years since the events. Well, these are happening 8-9 years before the events of the current anime, and then the current anime is in 2018. So he's had like 15 years to make up a poison immunity.
Yeah, he's immune to every poison.
It's taken him 15 years, but he has finally become the White Zangoose.
Alright, so there's this part of, like, animating a hand where the animator was just like, hey, you want me to fucking jerk off in front of everyone, show them how big my dick is with this animation?
Right? Just like the most fucking, like, if you wanted to do like a demo animation of someone like flipping around a butterfly knife, like this is what it would look like, because it's just like the most fucking intricate, like, flipping around of a single pencil. And Gojo's like, I can do blue and red, and I can do both at the same time, and I can do multiples at the same time, and I've gotten very quite strong in the last year. They keep buffing me in the patch notes. I do not know why.
I'm gonna have to learn my domain expansion. Have you seen it before, audience? And then there's this part where it, like, goes back to Getou, and he's like... Gojo, like, calls his name, and he, like, twitches in, like, acknowledgement, but it's, like, barely a living being's motion. It's so crazy. He's like, hey, are you good? He's like, haha, I'm so good right now.
Did you eat too much somen? And then Geto's internal monologue is like, well, I mean, Gojo just kind of became the strongest motherfucker on the planet, so he kind of does all of his missions alone. And now I go do all my missions alone, too. And Shoko never really got sent on dangerous shit anyway, so she's just kind of fucking around. I'm doing fine, though.
I'm doing so good right now. I love the taste of vomit and shit, actually.
Yeah.
It's victory wine.
And, like, interspersed over this entire episode is, like, the sound of applause.
Yeah. He lives for the applause.
Yeah, he just can't stop thinking about the applause that he got at the applause that was, like, everywhere at the Star Plasma Vessel Association, Corporation, Group, Committee, whatever.
Yeah.
Where they were just all applauding for the death, for Rieko Amanai's corpse.
Yay.
Yay.
He's like, well, I didn't think it was very good at all, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, he takes, like, a depression shower. We've all been there.
Yeah. Oh god, he is taking the most, like, raw ass depression shower of all time. Like, he is also I'm sorry to do this to you, Getou, but I have to diagnose you with Hank Hill type ass, because we see his ass from a distance.
They hide the ass because it's maybe still underage.
It just looks like the absence of butt. Like, I get what they're doing, but it looks like a Hank Hill cavern ass.
It's like the ass hidden in the clouds, you know.
Yeah.
There's a fog over it.
Yeah.
And there's not a hint of the front situation.
No, not in the slightest.
They do show his, like, extremely ripped shoulders, though.
Oh yeah, he's shredded. He looks like they make his forehead look very big at one point in this, and he looks like a Code Lyoko character very briefly when he is the saddest man in the world.
He gets, like, fish-eyed, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, fun animation choices in this. Like the when Yuki shows up and talks with Getou, there's like a 5-second shot that's, like, really strangely animated, parentheses compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, so he has this depression shower. Have you ever noticed how water falling down sounds like clapping in a way? Haha.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed yet, you will in about 5 minutes from now.
Yeah. But now the special boy appears.
Yeah, the most chipper. Here's what my notes say: Hybra is the most chipper little boy who ever lived and will not die ever. He's still up tempo, bro. You are getting exploded.
He's the most about to die boy you've ever seen. Like, I'm sure even if you haven't, like, read this manga, when you're like, oh, 4 characters I know from the future and 1 happy boy who I don't know.
Right. I just, like, remember, like, when Eve and I were watching the episodes last night, like, around, like, the 4th one, we were watching the OP, she was like, so why did Nanami leave Jujutsu school after he already knew what that was? And I was just like, information will be revealed to you as you watch the program.
It sure was.
Yeah. Neve's, I'm sorry to call Neve out like this, but I do need to express Neve's theories that she had while we were watching the show.
I mean, I did all my theories in the first season. Neve deserves some.
So one of Neve's theories was that Kuroi was going to be secretly evil.
I mean, I get it. She does have one scene where she has, like, very intense eyes.
And Neve's other theory was, her the way she pitched it was like, and this was after the 3rd episode, which is where, you know, Gojo is the deadest anyone has ever been. He gets, like, ripped open from, like, he gets like a brand new hole. He gets like 6 or 7 brand new holes invented on him. And Neve is just like, okay, so the Getou kind of dies in movie 0.
He sure does.
What if Gojo is also not the real Gojo that we knew?
Fuck. I think Kuroi being evil is the, like, most understandable for sure, because there's a few, like, weird parts. There's also one where she does her, like, crazy broom maneuvers, and then Getou's like, oh, that's surprising that you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she just died badly.
She didn't even die, did she? I thought she was, like, recovered safely from... I thought that was, like, a note that, like, she got... Where did she... She doesn't, like, go anywhere, does she?
No, Toji says that he, like, beat her ass and maybe she's alive or dead, who cares? But we never really see her again. I kind of assume she died.
I kind of assume she's alive just because I want to imagine that she went on to be a great skateboarding maid, but, you know, to each their own.
I don't think she would have the heart for it in the moment.
Well,
after everything that happened.
A year or two after Riko's passing, she could be like, all right.
So she's recovering by learning to skateboard.
Yeah, exactly. She's getting out a lot of trauma by doing sick kick turns.
All right. Well, good for her.
Maybe she's like longboarding, using the broom as like a gondolier type maneuver. You know, inventing a whole new way of traversal.
Was she a Jujutsu sorcerer?
I don't think so.
She could see Getou's curses. She rode on one. Oh,
that's right. She did. Do you need to see them to be able to ride on them?
I think that Getou's curses are still invisible, because that happens in this episode too, where he like sends out the little guy to tell the twins that everything's okay, to like check and see if they're sorcerers, basically. Yeah. To like see if they see it, and they do. So I think that his curses still use the same rules.
Right, but a like that's a good question. Because
Maki can't see the curses without her glasses.
No, but she can still interact with them.
Well, they can like bite her and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can still make physical contact. Like you could still like, though if Kuroi was riding on something that to her was invisible, she would probably have noted it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Mm-hmm. She was kind of just like, "Hey, it's Getou's curse. We like it."
Maybe it should. Maybe they just did. Maybe she just can because like probably they would want someone who can see curses to be like the protector.
Yeah,
of
she
the,
never like used
a
technique or like appeared to use cursed energy. Although she did fight with the broom, so I guess it didn't have the like effect on it though. Yeah,
no. Maybe she's just like a Jichi.
Yeah, she could be a window or something. That would make sense.
Yeah. Just a very jacked and proficient with a mop widow window. Not widow.
She's kind of like a what do they call a widow but your kid died?
Do they have a word for that?
I don't know, sad mom, I guess.
Word for widow but your kid died. Viloma.
Whoa, that's a cool word.
Yeah. Thank you today.duke.edu.
Well, it's what she is.
Yeah.
It's funny Ajichi is not in this part. I guess he's like the year below Nanami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming into that. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's still like an 8th grader.
New boy. Hey, what's going on here?
God, just I want like it's the fucking community gift. Donald Glover with the box with the pizza boxes just walking into the. Oh my God! Imagine just like what do you come into? Okay, one of your upperclassmen is the strongest man in the world of all time, and he also has a son, kind of.
God, Ajichi's thing is that he has a crush on Shoko. That actually makes so much sense in that context.
Yeah.
Like, Shoko is, like, the only one around, basically.
Yeah. Right, because Nanami, like, calls it quits, like, right after Hydro explodes, right? So. Yeah,
well,
and then...
I think he graduated first, didn't he? Or no?
Did he? Did Nanami graduate? Does Nanami have a GED? No, okay, he did graduate, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So he witnessed Hyper up beefing it and said, all right, D's get degrees, I'm just going to get this shit done.
It makes sense that he would graduate. That's like a very Nanami thing to do, but God, that must have been torture.
Yeah.
Every single class by yourself, not good.
No, oh my God, you're making me sad just thinking about it.
I'm telling you, the Nanami and Hybrid stuff is almost sadder than the Sasuke.
It's so fucking slept on as we're not like slept on, but like
it's not as prevalent in the fandom for sure.
No, not at all. Which is a shame because there's so much sad stuck there.
Yeah, and he's a nice little boy.
Right, baby Nanami is also so like
He's very cutie.
There's I always forget how every time I'm like, there's so little Nanami in this. I am still astounded at the lack of him.
Yeah, he talks in like 2-3 scenes, kind of.
Right. He might be on screen more in the OP. Like, if you add up all the times that he's on screen in the OP over the 5 episodes, I think it actually is more than he is on screen
for sure.
during the episodes proper.
Oh, out of all 5 episodes? Definitely.
Yeah.
But he's maximizing his minutes. His voice actor went crazy for his, like, 3 lines. Yeah. The most alive dead little boy comes over to Getou's depression corner and says, soda pop, please.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going on a trip. Do you want salty or sweet treat?" And Getou's like, my boyfriend likes sweet treats. He might want some. Get me a sweet treat.
A sweet treat.
Like this is just like when you're in like a deeply depressed slump, and like a very well-meaning friend of yours who's a little too distant emotionally for you to like really be on, just like, yeah, I'm doing okay. Thanks for
He tries. He's like, Hybra, do you think you can keep being a jujutsu sorcerer? Not asking for any particular reason, haha.
Yeah, and Hybra says, I don't really think hard. I just like to try hard.
I'm a nice boy, so I don't think about things like that.
Yeah, and then Yuki kicks down the door and says, what kind of girls do you like to fuck?
None, obviously. God, Hybra saying I love girls who love to eat is so cute.
Yeah,
that's great taste.
Yeah, right?
I love a fucking thick bitch. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. God, fucking rest in peace, Hybra. Died before he could experience Nicki Minaj's thin phobic song.
And then he just leaves. He's like, okay, there's a new character here, so I'm good. See ya.
Yeah, yep. I have to go die now.
Goodbye. I was kind of hopeful they'd add, like, maybe 1 flash or 2 of the fight, but it's fine that there's not anything there.
Yeah. We do get a fun Hybra line where he's like, Getou, I think you're good. I'm a good judge of character. And Getou's like, damn, even when you're sitting next to me? Okay.
You think I'm nice? Look at my hair. Look at my eyes. I'm not doing good.
I believe Hybra, though, because it's, I mean, like, it's also what Yuki says here, where it's like, we'll get into more of it, but, like, she said, you are at 2 paths, and, like, I don't think this is naivete on Hybra's part as much as I would like to read it as such, because he is the most bright-eyed, naive boy on the planet. I genuinely think that he means these things.
Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Even before he murdered 112 people, plus his parents.
Yeah.
He was, he's a depressed boy. He's not a monster.
Yeah.
And, maybe we'll even stand him after. I'll decide.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Getou has decided to create a Getou has decided to create an AMV for the Mountain Goats' heel turn 2 to end us all. I'm waiting on that AMV, frankly. I like TikTok. This is definitely like
AMVs are dropping as we speak.
Yeah, I need the heel turn 2. I need to see like the shadows of the 2 shadows, one of them fading away as I hear, throw my better self overboard, shoot at him as he comes up for air. I need to hear this.
God, that part is cool. Okay, what does Yuki say?
Yes, Yuki says, God, what does Yuki say?
She says, hello, I'm Yuki, have you heard of me? And Getou says, yeah, I've heard you're very irresponsible and everyone hate you. Yeah,
you're a freeloading shithead.
And she goes, blah.
Yeah, she like loses animation quality. Like she gradually devolves into 4-stroke Alphonse.
Yeah.
But the conversation eventually turns to that she wants to treat the cause and not the symptoms of curses.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember if this was already lore that we knew, but jujutsu sorcerers do not generate curses. They're only generated by people who are not using their cursed energy, which are,
right.
normies going around. So what we either have to do is make it so that everyone has no cursed energy or everyone has perfect control of their cursed energy. Mm-hmm. And your boyfriend exploded Toji, so I can't really study him anymore.
Yeah. She's like, it's okay that you lost him. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to fight his ass.
I'm very interested in her thing of I asked Toji if I could study him and he said no. What was that all about?
Listen, she's off fucking around and backpacking.
But what situation is Toji like, hello, beautiful blonde woman, get away from me? Maybe he was married at the time, you know? Maybe she should have asked after his wife died.
I think the thing is that Yuki would not, like... I think Toji needs to be, like... Pampered isn't the right word.
He likes to be a sugar baby, yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. Yuki would not treat him like that. Yuki would be like that fucking old ass vine, like that vine of the woman, like just like walking into the room, like chugging a handle of a Arizona iced tea and saying, "I'm gonna suck the soul out of you." And he can't be having any part of that.
He wants a girl who's gonna pay for him. I mean, Yuki's going around. She must have some kind of cash.
Yeah, but she doesn't have two people's worth of cash. She can support herself. She cannot support this no good do nothing.
She can't support the lifestyle though, which he's become accustomed.
Exactly. But so she's like, we could maybe we can culling them. We can just like kill all the humans.
Getou does bring it up first. He's like,
yes.
So what if we killed all non-sorcerers? And she says, I've thought about it. Not a terrible idea.
Because the thing is that like he like throws it out like I feel like when he throws this out, he's like expecting to be shot down, like just expecting to hear like, I mean I don't think that would be a very good idea. Whether or not it would be effective, I don't even want to entertain the thought of.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, she's like, yeah, no, I've kind of thought about it. Like
that's like step 1, but I'm kind of looking for a step 2 instead of that one.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, and it would even like force some of them to evolve and like be able to use cursed energy. And we'd have to culling them. And then like this is when the applause starts fading in, and then it like pans out to reveal, it's the sound of rain like hitting leaves. It's great. The sound design in this episode is.
This is like, you know, the new meme of like this cartoon just realistically depicted a panic attack. This one is realistically depicting triggers.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has so many problems.
Oh, my poor boy. He's normal.
Oh, poor thing.
He's my poor little thing. So Yuki gets on her cool hog and drives away, and she says,
"Yeah, she drives away and says, don't worry about the star plasma vessel. By the way, it worked itself out or whatever.
If you were worried, we fixed it probably. Don't worry, bye."
Actually, before she leaves, Getou is like, "There's part of me that wants to like abandon protecting the humans, but there's another part of me that thinks that part of me is horrible and evil. Which part of them is the real me?" And she's just like, they're both kind of you. You're at a crossroads right now. Whatever you decide.
People can have like two conflicting thoughts a lot of the time, actually.
The more often than you would think.
Yeah, but Getou has never experienced this because he's like a very like morally stringent kind of guy. He's a very like, I'm doing the proper thing. Yeah. So now that he's had a secondary thought, he's like, fuck, what's wrong with me?
Getou is, I see myself in Getou in that I steeled myself for 5 or so years in Tumblr's social justice circles and really developed a moral spine with absolutely zero flexibility, sheer rigidity. And I've spent the better part of the last 5 years working myself out of that mentality. Yeah. He's just like me, for real.
If this part was set in 2018 instead, I know that Getou is canceling Gojo on Tumblr.
Absolutely.
But that's how they find their love, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then Yuki is like, I didn't get his type. Darn. But it's because he's gay.
I can tell you it's men.
And then we cut to Nanami grieving.
Yeah, this is a very strong scene.
Hybro walked off screen like 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now he is a corpse in the morgue.
Yeah, he's hamburger style badly.
Yeah, this scene is heavy. But yeah, Sudaken fucking kills this scene. Just Nanami is the most depressed little boy ever. He's like, that was not a fucking second grade. That we needed a first grade sorcerer at least for that. He should not have been sent out like that. Oh god. Oh, my boyfriend is missing all of his tummy guts.
Yeah. Yeah, Getou like pulls the sheet over him and the blood like soaks in about tummy region.
Yeah.
And there's nothing left under there.
No.
Not good.
I would have liked to have seen him getting in over his like
I wanted to know what his power was.
I want to know what his power was, but more than that, like one of my favorite things in media is when like a character realizes like almost like right before they die or are put in like a nearly lethal situation, like just realizing, I am out of my fucking depths. I thought this was like 6 or 7 feet deep. This is a mile deep. I am fucked. I genuinely love those moments in fiction. I would have liked to
Yeah.
have experienced that, but what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, just a moment of abject terror of like, oh, I'm gonna kind of die. Oh well.
Yeah. And then there's like a blood vision.
A blood vision.
Yeah, Getou like puts the sheet over Hybra, and like the blood soaks into the sheet, and then he like holds up his hand, and it's covered in blood too. And then there's like,
yes,
soaking through the doors. And Getou's monologue is like, the path of corpses of my friends. Where does it lead?
I want to say, by the way, because I think we discussed this before the episode started proper. You are not working off of notes for this episode.
No,
you just. I'm off of my notes, and my notes are, I think, halfway decent, but I'm missing a couple of things like that just now. Kay has just committed the memory of the episode in their brain entirely.
Well, I did just watch it too. I watched it like a couple hours ago.
Sure, but like
I really liked the way the bloody hand looked. I thought it was very striking. Yeah,
listen, I'm not trying to get your ass in any capacity. I'm applauding you. Let me be clear. Yeah, Suguru Getou has a bad fucking time. .mov for the next couple of minutes here.
This is the most depressed teenage boy I've ever seen, and he has incredible powers. Let's send him on an evil mission, a child abuse mission. Do you think he'll like that?
Yeah, because he there's this like little village in the countryside, and he finds two little babies just born, brand new, just out. They're like
they're
8
like
or
5,
so here.
I think.
Yeah, 5. They're young.
They're supposed to be Megumi's age.
Yeah, they're little babies, itty bitty.
Yeah, they're quite beat to shit. Not good. Yeah, it's not the way you want to see your babies.
And they're in jail also.
Yeah. They're in jail for baby crime. Yeah, because
they, according to the village, have decided that these two girls are the source of everything bad that happens in the village.
Yeah.
That happened in the village. And Getou's like, no, Getou is like, I love the pose that Getou is like rocking here, where he's like, it's, I don't know, it's like if you were trying to pinch your, pinch your temples with both hands, but like, I don't even know how to describe it. He's just hitting
He's like pressing into his forehead with his thumb, like trying to like contain a headache.
Yeah. 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 And he's like, no, I already took care of that. And then the villagers are like, oh, but this girl made my daughter sick. And this girl she's killing all of our crops.
Are we just going to wait around until they do?
Yeah. We have identified that these two are Iraqi fighter jets, and they must be stopped by the U.S. military immediately.
Yeah, and they added this for the anime, this sort of symbolism of there's 2 candles in the room, so they're casting 2 shadows. Yeah. One candle is burning quite low, and then Getou kind of flashes back to, it's your choice to choose which path you're going to take, and the low candle burns out, and he turns around and he says, hey, let's talk outside for a sec.
Yeah, and then village explosion, Hinamizawa incident happens, 112 dead.
112 dead, a big cool fire curse scene.
Yeah.
Symbolic button dropped.
We get so, to speak, like, this is like manga spoilers in like the vaguest sense here, but like, we don't get a lot of like Yuki's, especially her internality, I feel like in the manga. I'm really curious, like, what, if anything, was her reaction to all of this? Do you think... she does metal blast!
Bleh. Bleh. She's like, damn, okay, well, maybe it'll work for him. Yeah,
maybe, listen, maybe someone will do this. Yeah, good, Godspeed. Good luck out there. And... This is like the moment where like I feel like a lot of emotion that this arc missed for me the first couple of times through really hit, where like Gojo is learning of his boyfriend's mass homicide and the fact that he's ordered to be executed.
The drawing of him learning it in the manga is like not very good, or like it's not giving the right emotion. I think the sound effect of it is like gurk or something.
Gurk.
Like it's not quite right.
Yeah, it feels almost like played for laughs a little bit. I mean, it is a little bit here because Gojo has the line of like, of course I heard you. That's why I said, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
He used his little ha.
And we see what Yaga looks like a year later, and he worst fate of all time, asked to return to barbershop.
Fuck this guy. Oh yeah, but they've received the report. Getou Suguru has been involved in a village incident.
Yeah.
A village-involved incident.
Yeah.
A curse was discharged.
Getou took meal at the village location. At the village Shake Shack.
Yeah. Getou Suguru residuals found in milkshake. 112 dead. Getou Suguru sentenced to death.
Were you ever familiar with that? Did you ever hear that urban legend about, like, oh, I once heard a story about, like, someone went to Olive Garden, their salad tasted weird, and it turned out that there were, like, 6 different people's cum in the dressing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard, like, a deep fried rat or, like, finger or whatever.
Do you think there's just, like, Getou Suguru's, all of his residuals were in the milkshake at Shake Shack?
Oh my god. Don't go to Shake Shack, man.
Don't go to Grimace Meal 2.0.
Oh, the Getou meal. I get it sometimes.
What is in the Getou meal? Well,
first off, it is at KFC. That's important.
Yes.
I'm getting the Getou meal at KFC. Fuck, I don't know what they have at KFC.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, you box yourself into a corner here by not knowing what they sell at KFC.
They have the, like, nasty part of the bird where you can see all the ribs. I don't like that one.
I think my man just gets I think the Getou meal is, like, a popcorn chicken, a fry, a lemonade.
Ooh, I get it sometimes.
He gets it sometimes.
So Gojo's quite upset upon hearing the news that his boyfriend has been sentenced to death and also become quite a mass murderer.
And also killed his parents.
Yeah, that part is crazy. They also didn't show that part. I was a little hopeful I would get a glimpse of Mr. and Mrs. Getou.
Forgot, like, I kind of forget that characters have parents sometimes, unless they're, like, explicitly shown on screen.
My headcanon is that Gojo does not have parents. I think that he was born to some members of the clan and had the power, and they took him away from his parents.
Yeah. Getou having, like, to me, Getou is just like a lonely little orphan boy. He's never had.
He is now.
Yeah.
Self-imposed
He's a self-made orphan.
I gotta do everything myself around here.
Ugh. Every day I wake up and I shine my boots and I get out the door and I go kill my parents. Pull myself up, wring their necks up by my bootstraps.
Time for another shift at the orphan factory.
Working a double at the orphan factory. Working a double is when you kill both your mom and your dad.
Yeah. You got
a single is just one or the other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have to add the one thing that they also added to the Gojo hearing the news scene, which is he clenches his fist so hard it bleeds.
Yeah, he's so mad and upsetty.
You know, he's supposed to be completely invulnerable now, but he's bleeding. What do you think it means?
Yeah. We see Shoko just, like, chilling in the middle of Shinjuku, just, like, trying to light a cigarette, and, like, just cannot find a lighter on her.
This was like Gege Akitami, our friend, has been doing, like, little, like, cartoon doodles, whatever, for every episode, you know, like a little review. And his comment for this one was like, they couldn't show Shoko smoking, so they had to have somebody else smoke. Like, she has the cigarette in her mouth, but she never lights it up. Can't show a child smoking on television.
Wait,
like that.
Isn't she smoking in the first episode of the season?
I don't remember. That was that was just what Gege said. That's all I have.
Okay. I
think she's had the cigarette in her mouth a lot, but not actually lit it. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's a metaphor here. Yeah. Gojo has stuffed his ass full of firecrackers. Similarly.
Yeah, and you know, get out lights.
Yeah, because Shoko's just like patting herself down, like, where's my fucking lighter?
Yeah.
And then like Getou just, like, offers her a light, and she's like, the fugitive.
This is sicko too, because in the manga the village is not explicitly said to have burned down, but, like, connecting the fire he just set in the village to offering Shoko a light is so crazy.
Yeah. I love Shoka's reaction to this, where she's like, any chance the stuff they're saying is about you is not true? And he's like, no, sorry. And she's like, well, that
I did that shit.
If the cops come and get me tomorrow, do not tell them it was my alter ego Countess Butchu Flugrante. No, that was me.
She was not involved.
The Countess's hands remain innocent. Clean.
Yeah, and she calls Gojo up on the phone and says,
yeah, she's like, quit fucking brooding, I'm calling your emotional support fruit.
And she, like, lies to him. It's like, she just says, I don't want to be killed. It's assumed that he's like, well, keep him there, or something. And she's like, no, I don't want to be. But I think it's pretty obvious that she wasn't afraid of him at any time.
No, absolutely not. Shoko's relationship with the young boys is very minor, but I really like what they've managed to squeeze into the time that they've had, the screen time that they've had.
You know, when you have a special friend, and then you both also have a third friend who's just kind of there, and you like them.
It's the image of the two people like making out at the club, and then Shoko sipping from their drink.
Damn, she is getting her sippies in though.
She's sipping.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we get the KFC breakup.
This is the iconic scene that they've animated, I think, 3 or 4 times now. And they've done it different every time.
Yep. Gojo is so upset that his boyfriend is evil.
He's like flailing, shaking, crying, sweating.
Yeah. Absolutely banger voice performance in this one.
Oh yeah.
From who's Gojo's voice again? I should know this.
Oh, he's the same guy who does Hawks and Kuro from Haiku.
Oh, Yuichi Nakamura.
Yeah,
Nakamura absolutely fucking kills it in this. Again, making me understand the emotion that I did not really like fully grok the first time that I like read.
Yeah, he's a lot more like outwardly emotional in this than it's really depicted in the manga. Although it's hard to depict like flailing around in the manga, really.
I am really excited to see how Kaiji Tang does the dub performance of this, because like I have seen clips and bits. I saw a clip of some of the Gojo Toji fights. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's really good. And then I was informed that was also the voice of my good friend Archer from Fate.
Oh,
both white-haired anime boys.
Yeah, there's a lot of white-haired anime boys going around.
There are so many white-haired anime boys, though.
So we've seen this scene many a time. Our friend Suguru walking through a crowd of people who are animated in a way that makes them background characters, but they're in the front somehow.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. He's having his walk to KFC when suddenly his boyfriend appears and says, hey, what was with all that murder you did? Why did you murder everyone at the village and also your parents? And Getou says, nah, you wouldn't understand.
To get anything for free in any store.
To measure my bodies. Yeah. He says, I'm gonna kill all non-jujutsu sorcerers. And Gojo says, that's fucking stupid. There's too many. You can't do that. And he says, I've caught you in a contradiction, because if I was you and had your powers, you could do it, don't you think? So why can't I? Follow your dreams, kids.
Yeah. And then this is the first time that I feel like I've actually understood the line, are you the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo? Or
I agree
are you
completely.
Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest?
I've been like kind of flummoxed by this exchange for quite a while, but it really makes sense here this time.
Yeah, something I'm going to try and put it into words, and I'm probably going to fail, but I'll give it a shot anyways, because I think what I've gotten from it this time is that, like, have you become who you are as a person because your strength, puts this burden on your shoulders, or is it just that you are the strongest person because of who you are? You the strongest person because of who you are intrinsically as a person, or has who you are as a person been made by your strength?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I finally understood it.
Finally.
Thank you, Matha. I understand.
I feel like I feel like I remember like when we did the movie episode, just like talking around that, being like, "Can you explain that one to me?"
What did he mean here? What did he mean by that?
But I get it now.
I think they've like slightly tweaked the like subtitles too.
Yeah, they slightly did. It's not like the...
Yeah.
Because in the Viz translation, I feel like it's like a pretty much like straight, like, change the words. Like, are you the strongest because you're Gojo, or are you Gojo because you're the strongest? But I think they changed the wording ever so slightly.
And like, the connection of, like, if I were to become you, I feel like is made more clear, too. Like...
Yeah.
Like, I could be the strongest, maybe. I could be a you.
Right, but if I was the strongest, would I be you, or would I be me?
Yeah. Yeah, it finally makes sense. We all understand the KFC breakup.
Always the same and never the same. Day by day, life after life. Fucking Sophie. Music. Sorry.
Music.
Music.
So, Getou turns to walk away, and Gojo holds up his deadly blast.
Yeah, and he stands us up, and I'm not going to say, baby boy, you are not.
He's like shaking, trembling like a chihuahua, and like...
Does not even have an aura around him. There is nothing, like...
It's not implied to ever be close, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is he is holding up a revolver where the barrel is big enough that you can see all of the empty chambers.
Yeah, and, Getou says, if you want to kill me, there's a meaning, but...
Yeah,
I would say that there is in fact a meaning to him not killing him as well, which is quite strong.
Yeah. I can you explain to me what I meant when I left in my notes? He hits the saddest stanky leg of all time.
When he's sitting on the stairs.
Yes!
He's like the longest he's ever been.
Right! Oh, he's so sad.
He looks like he's about to do the stick bug. But he's stuck in the first one.
He went to Getou and said, Getou, why did you kill your parents? And Getou turned around and said, get stick bug ball.
Sad boy stare moments. Yaga walks down every stair and says, hey, why didn't you kill your boyfriend? Gojo says, how are you going to ask me that? And Yaga says, oh yeah, my bad. I just remembered.
Yeah.
Good for you guys, I guess.
Yeah.
I support all my students in their sexualities. But not their murders.
Yeah. Listen, there's some bridges that there's some bridges that are too far for homophobes to cross. We meet the new Star Religious group, and we experience the most hostile takeover of all time.
This scene fucking rules.
It rules. Because like we see Getou, like they're just like the Star Religious group is gathering, and Getou is like chilling backstage with his two daughters that he stole from their village.
They're very cutie baby.
They're so adorable.
And they already love him a lot, because, he took them out of a cage and exploded everyone who was ever mean to them.
Yeah, and in 6 or so years, he will put them in the mouth of a pelican and say, now listen, mommy has to go break up with daddy again.
But we can get crepes after.
We can get crepes after, yes. So Getou walks out on the stage like, hi, I am your new boss. Hi. And they don't like it. And he's like, Mr. CEO man, can you please come up? And then smushes him like a bug. He
fucking explodes in a smash cut, and then the whole stage is fucking covered in blood. Like, all the blood that one man could hold, you can barely believe would cover the stage, but he managed it.
He always was a great CEO, breaking new ground.
And he fucking throws his mic. Looks very cool.
Yeah. Getou gets a bunch of blood on his face and calls everyone monkeys.
Yeah. You obey me now, actually, so... Unless you want to get squished too.
Anyone else want to get... Anyone else want
to add to this? Anyone else a big man today? Didn't think so.
Anyone else feel like making their opinion heard?
Where are those many objections now? Interesting. So we're done with that. We now understand how Getou became the man he is in the big movie.
Yeah.
Now let's check on how Gojo became the guy he is. He goes and finds a little boy and annoys him.
Yeah.
This is another scene that they already animated in the first season, but they've animated it in a fresh new way that looks better.
Yeah.
Gojo says, hey, Megumi-chan, you look exactly like your dad, who I hate a lot, but let's not get into that.
Well, he tries to get into it.
True,
he starts to
Megumi says, let's not get into that.
Yeah, he says, I killed your dad, and then we said, I'm not interested, I'd go file taxes.
Yeah. Nothing on me, man.
Yeah. Megumi in 7 years, I don't want to die.
glad you got the reference.
Of course I did.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Gojo explains to like a 5-year-old Megumi, your dad sold you to One Direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad sold you to the most like racist and misogynistic One Direction he could find.
Yeah.
So do you want to go live with them, with your sister, who they're going to be really mean to, or do you want like a second option? And he says, yeah, probably number 2.
He hits him with the Rico option.
Yeah, this is like Gojo's main thing of like he's very caring about people's choices, and that, you know, persists in the future. In the very first episode, you know, he asks Megumi what he wants to do about Itadori, and he says he wants to save him, so he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gojo is a very like deeper character than you realize from just a surface glance, I think.
Yeah, he just seems like a funny nasty man.
Yeah, he's a funny homosexual going around. And that is true, and that's important to his character as well.
Right. But there's more.
There's more. Oh my god. You can think about him 25 hours a day like me, and you can understand.
Arduous medical job 0, Gojo Satoru Tulpa 1.
I tweeted that thing the other day, and it was so stupid that I had to tweet it, but it was true. That I was thinking about like, I was like running late, and I was like, if I could teleport, I would still run late. That would suck. And then I was like, wait, that's what Gojo does. And then I was like thinking about Gojo. I was like, fuck yeah, Gojo!
You have a fascinating brain.
I thought of him. I was excited about it.
Like if this show and you were like, if we just were able to transplant all of this like a decade and a half ago, like I can just fully envision you on Tumblr as like seeing a like fucking screen grab of someone inventing a My Little Pony tulpa and just being like, oh, maybe I could do that with Gojo.
Oh, that's what it is. I thought I just had a Gojo.
Wait, you don't all have Gojos?
I thought that was why we all liked Gojo. Alright, so Gojo wraps up his past arc. He's gained a new son and boy.
Yep, he wakes up okay. Neve has left me a couple of because Neve took the laptop away to do Lego things after I finished taking my notes. And I was like, oh, can you just like hit save on that document, make sure, and just like change the title? Which she did change the title of the document to Patlabor 3: the sequel to Patlabor and Patlabor 2.
Okay.
And also left at the end, who the fuck are these people at the end?
They did change Megumi's design. They didn't change Itadori and Kugisaki that much, but they've taken away a lot of Megumi's sea urchin spikies. They've tried to make him look like a normal boy, which I'm not sure I appreciate.
No, he's literally Pincurchin. Come on.
I mean, he's still pointy. He's just not as pointy. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I'll get used to it.
He looks a little bit less like Shadow the Hedgehog is curled up and taking a nap on his head.
Yeah.
And then like they wake him up and Nopero steals his seat and they're like, oh hey, were you like dreaming about something or what were you thinking about? And he's just like, nothing.
Teehee.
ED time.
Oh.
My final note here is, Gojo, you are the most divorced and insane, in pain man of all time. I
love you. You've been insane like me, been in pain like me, been incredibly divorced like me.
Last note from Neve, by the way, as she has left another note in my notes here. Prediction: Kuroi is evil and Itadori's sister. She's important at the end and is the big bad of the series, which... Well, okay. We have no way of knowing.
No, there's no way of knowing. Maybe she lived.
Yeah. We don't talk about the manga on here. It's entirely possible that has happened, dear listener.
Exactly. That's the damn episode. They did the damn thing. 5 episodes of Young Boys.
5 episodes of Young Boys Gojo High School arc.
I will say, on Crunchyroll, when you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, whenever you finish the most recent episode, it autoplays the movie. And I did go ahead and watch all of Ghetto's scenes, and they do hit bad and hurt you a lot.
Yeah, I need to rewatch the movie.
The movie's good.
I need to rewatch the movie now that I've experienced the Young Boys Gojo High School arc again.
Yeah, you get to see all the scenes from the show animated in a movie way. They show like there's
the KFC
like
breakup.
Yeah, there's the KFC breakup. There's the part where Shoko wears Gojo's glasses to show their friendly childhood memories. And there's the part where, like, Gojo tries to steal Rico's snack when they're on the beach.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they were friends before they were enemies. Oh, have you thought about this? Maybe it's sad.
Maybe it's sad. I'm still just, it's still just so funny to me that, like, this show started with you being like, oh, Gojo and Getou were in love. Haha, that would be funny. And then, like, we finished the podcast and you were like, well, did a pretty good job staying unspoiled on the manga. Time to go read what happens in the... Oh my god, I have 7 new brain diseases.
I can smell that shit. I can see it.
I just, like, remember your message being like, you guys were lying to me? This is real? Real?
It's like every passing day, it becomes, like, so real that it's a little bit frightening.
Right, because, like, before I went into this, like, I honestly, I was a little bit like, yes, I've read it, I know what this is.
I know, 2 boys. And when 2 boys are near each other, I know what that means in anime.
Yeah. But like, I also was like, I know they're never going to do anything with this because, like, to explicate it at all would, like, drive away a large portion of the audience. And now, like, I'm reading this and I'm just like, the manga is going to end with Gojo Getou, full 2-page spread kissing with tongue. The
manga is going to end with them both kissing on the mouth, and you're all going to see it.
With tongue.
With tongue!
But, like, yeah, just, like, rewatching it, I was like, oh, yeah, this is, like, they are really... I don't know. Maybe every time I talk about something where there is not an explication of this stuff, where it's like especially in, like, a field of media that does not have a lot of, like, that has a long history of just, you know, leaving it all unsaid.
Yeah. Or, like, saying it was never intended in the first place.
Right. I'm staring directly at the fucking Witch from Mercury. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Bandai said sorry that they got married platonically. Those weren't wedding rings, they were besties.
The thing that drives me fucking insane about that is that I'm gonna, like, kind of spoil the end of Iron Blooded Orphan, sort of. No character death or anything, but the end, Iron Blooded Orphan ends with 2 wives raising, like, it's a time skip, and 2 of the women characters are married, and they are raising a son together. And they're literally married, and this does not... I'm sorry, the end of which... I still didn't even finish... I genuinely... Like, I had been putting off watching the last couple of episodes of it, and, like, I am so pissed off about this that I'm just like, man...
Yeah.
But this will end with a full 2-page spread kissing with tongue.
I definitely agree that this feels different in some way.
It does.
Like I'm the yaoi enjoyer, famously.
Right.
But, you know, most of the time I'm, like, enjoying, like, my personal fandom zone thoughts about the yaois,
right,
and just kind of watching the show as a normal person, pretending. But this is just, it feels different. I don't know. It feels like it's really building to something.
Like, compare this to, for example, Itadori and Fushiguro.
Yeah, Itadori and Fushiguro has always been nothing to me. I'm sorry. It's not as real. It's not even close.
Right. I feel nothing about it. Like, if you're having fun with it, like, yeah, go nuts, have fun, go enjoy being yourself. But it's like comparing that, or like I'm sorry to talk about a ship that you despise, but Bakudeku from Hiraka.
Well, you know,
like,
fucking destroy their asses.
Similar veins of, it's like, I see what you're getting. I see the source material that you are
like,
pulling from here and building
thing,
from.
Whatever. But there's no, like, real emotional chemistry in that way.
Yeah, but God, I don't know. Just everything about this part, just thinking about one of the first things that Gojo says in episode 2 is, "Don't worry, I'm the strongest." Dude,
it's fucked. It's all fucked.
In episode 2 of the first season, it's so fucking Jover. It's
Jover for us now. There's so many scenes in the movie too where it's like they give each other these looks, and I'm like, what am I supposed to take away from that?
Literally, like, what is the ending of that movie if not, like, gay shit?
Yeah, this is crazy, because it's like a metatextual thing of, like, nobody understands Gojo except for Getou, right? Basically, like, that's the thing. And he has this, like, secret line that even the audience doesn't know, because only Getou can understand it. It's so crazy!
Man.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years from now, we're going to be podcasting about the episode where their tongues are kissing and touching each other, and I'm going to be saying, we're more back than we've ever been, baby.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a PhD by then, with any luck.
Yeah, I'll have a PhD in Satasugu, easily.
Yeah, exactly. They'll have invented that. You're in a pretty liberal state, right? They'll have invented that by then.
Finally.
Yeah. Oh, God. I don't want to stop talking about them, is the thing. Because, listen, when we come back, we're going to be talking about, the first episode that we get when we come back, I'm not going to be a huge fan of, probably, because
I really liked that episode. I really liked that chapter. I'm sorry. I'm a real enjoyer of it.
The thing is that, I don't know. Maybe we should transition to the manga spoiler zone now, because we're Welcome, domain expansion, Forbidden Library.
Perfect.
I think that I had a lot more issues with that chapter. I think the issues that I have with that chapter, it's like that chapter. It's a very funny chapter, and I think it, does speak a lot to Itadori's character. I think my issue with it before is that it was, setting up... It looked like it might be, setting up Itadori and Kugisaki for some endgame stuff, and now it's, with her having been dead... for over 100 chapters at this point, and 3 years of real time.
Yeah.
There is no way that is ever going to happen.
No,
so,
they've definitely pivoted into more Itadori Fushiguro stuff.
God, I saw a Tumblr post that made me so fucking mad that was talking about the MLM and Woolable stuff in Jujutsu Kaisen, and they were yeah, there's Satosugu, and then there's also Itafushi, and I'm okay, I guess. And then they talk about, how Nobara's, last memories were, of her childhood crush.
Yeah.
And I'm what are you fucking talking about? Makes sense. God, I don't want to accept that if I'm going to see Nobara again after this season, it is not going to be until at least season 5. And that is deeply physical painful to me. I'm going to know that I'm just deeply dreading the day that episode goes up, because I'm just going to have to watch her head explode.
Yeah, she exploded big time, eyeball flying everywhere. And then some little blonde dude is gonna come over and say, "Don't worry, it's fine," or maybe it isn't.
Yep.
And there's no time to explain.
I just wish I could live in the brain of every single Shonli who's oh, okay, this means she's going to be back in the next couple episodes. And then, then when they find out, oh, okay, she's not back yet.
I just remembered that little blonde dude. I do like him. Nita's little brother.
Akari?
It might be Akari. I definitely thought it was a girl for a long time, but no.
Yeah, I also think I did until just now.
But he's fine. He's nice. Yeah, he's Nita's little brother. She's one of the drivers, the little blonde driver.
I think it would be funny for Gege to bring Nobara back around the time that episode airs.
Because he did, he first released the chapter where she exploded, when she first appeared in the anime, right?
I believe so, because the third episode of the anime was what prompted me to read all of the manga, and that was the second most recent chapter when I caught up.
Yeah.
The most recent chapter when I caught up was Toto losing his hand, I think, which is 2 after.
I believe that he can make the timeline match up, because Gojo's almost done with his fight with Sukuna, basically.
Right. Because I've talked about this at length in the service, so apologies for other people, for you especially, because you've heard me bitch about this so many times at this point. But it's just if she is going to come back, it is either going to I don't think if she showed up now in a narratively important way, I don't think it would feel earned in any capacity. Mm-hmm. I have been keeping a very close eye on this. She's been referenced 3 times since she exploded. Uh-huh. One of which being at the campfire when Itadori is oh, what happened to Nobara? And Fushiguro's just
it's hard to explain.
And Itadori says, I get that. I understand perfectly. So, if she's going to come back... Because, my theory, I feel for a while was that, she's going to come back, and Resonance is going to be the only way to, hurt Sukuna without hurting Megumi. But it would just feel so, I don't know. I feel it would not feel narratively fulfilling.
Yeah, I don't really see any of the kids fighting as being, a good way to conclude the story. Because the story is about how it's bad for kids to fight, basically.
Right, this is the thing. God, where does the story go after this fucking Sukuna Gojo knockout, drag out brawl?
Oh, well, I think... Here's what I think. I think that Gojo and Sukuna are, like, kind of at a draw, basically, sort of. I mean, Gojo's kind of winning, but his brain is exploding. I think Itadori is gonna have to do some, like, power of love shit on Megumi. And Gojo will witness this and say, I know another person with a guy inside them that I care quite a lot about. So maybe I'll go do that to them.
Yeah, I think Itadori is finally going to use Domain Expansion Benevolent Shrine.
Yes! Yeah, because Itadori, now that he doesn't have his special guy in there, he kind of doesn't have powers. But he could have his own power, just like Yuta.
Right, but there was also all that stuff in, like, the first, like, 30 chapters or so where Gojo's like, if his powers might be rubbing off on you, so even without him in there or some shit.
Because it is like Yuta in, like, Volume 0, because he thought Rika was kind of the only power he had, but then once it was removed from him, he discovered that he had his own kind of cool power that was awesome. Yeah. And I am a firm believer that Volume 0 is the blueprint for everything that happens in the rest of the story. So I could see he likes to do the little parallels like that. So I think that he does. I think that it's a hint.
I think that things will end good, and I want to see Nobara, like, one or two more times. I remember, like, the first, like, year of her being gone. I was like, all right, this is just her. She's having a training arc off screen with her Gam back in the sticks, like she talked about before she died. She's coming back any day now. And it was the fight between like Naked Sky Lady and Pompadour Boy that I think I was just like, oh, she's not fucking coming back.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I don't know. I think more than most people, I very much trust the author of the manga. I think he does a good job.
Yeah, I think that when we get to the end, I will look back and be like, yeah, that was good overall.
That really was our Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, and, like, things have really picked up. I think I'm just, like, still like a bit of I think I'm still just having a bit of sour grapes about Nobara specifically, and there's like a couple of fights. Like I don't even mind that Yuki got exploded. I just don't like the way that her fight ended. Like, I feel like a lot of fights in this series just end with, like, oh, I did my big epic blast versus, no, you didn't. But that one is, like, the most egregious example.
The fuck you mean I didn't do my blast?
Fuck you mean no? The fuck you mean no? Yeah. But, like, overall, I think it's good.
I think it's good. I was a Culling Game hater for a long time. Then I was like, oh, this arc is about seeing more funny guys? Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. When Kashimo showed up, I was like, all right.
I'm a sucker for a guy with lightning powers, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Lightning powers, if the three, like, main elemental powers are, like, fire, lightning, and ice, probably, then lightning is definitely the best one for me.
I think I take ice over lightning over fire, but I can't fault you for that, or for your taking lightning in first in the draft.
With lightning, you get to see someone's skeleton when you zap them.
That's true. With fire, you can also see someone's skeleton if you try really hard, but it's not gonna be as raw as seeing it in the outline.
Mm-hmm. And there is an ice person. Uraume does ice.
Yeah, we have not gotten a lot of Uraume.
Yeah, why aren't they around now that Sukuna's in, like, a new cool body that he likes?
Yeah, come on.
I'd love to see my Blorbo.
Do you remember when Kusakabe got a volume cover?
He got, like, a cool pop-off moment, too.
I literally forgot about it. I don't remember him having a cool pop-off moment. I fucking hate his ass.
Yeah, we hate his ass. He sucks. He's a coward.
I think my original theory was that, like, the arc was going to end, like, the last thing we get in the arc is Okotsu meeting with like fucking Jujutsu Sealy.
That 100% tracks based on the numbers I was looking at. Because these 5 episodes were about 15 chapters, and then
Shibuya is like what? 65?
Shibuya, we're at 80 right now, chapter 80, and then the end of Shibuya is like 140.
Yeah.
Or like 135, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it maths out perfectly.
Yeah.
Although, what I didn't remember was, and why I was checking, I was like, how long until Gojo goes in the box? Because I thought it was going to be like the half core originally. But he's going to go in the box after like 3 episodes when we come back.
Yeah, he gets in, he goes in there pretty fast, huh?
And
Because he's like right there when they unleash the whole hell on the subway, and he's like, okay, I must stop this. Yeah. And then he's like, yo, Satoru!
I got fucking pissed off reading that part. I was like, Kendraku, your days are numbered, dude. I'm so mad at you for what you've done. It's like
you use his homosexuality against him to make him relive 5 years of trauma in 1 second.
This is like the purest homophobia I've ever seen. And it's like, and Gojo's being so emotive in every moment too. It's like, it really hurts when you like Gojo a lot. You're like, fuck, he's not liking this at all.
No, he's having a bad time.
Oh, it's gonna be a good episode. I'm gonna get crazy about it.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, did we have questions?
Oh, yes, we do.
Questions.
I've got a great answer for this question also. Tufster McGee, at Tufster McG. I have vivid memories of unreasonable crying with a friend over some Popeyes fried chicken. What's your fast food order during emotional crisis? So for me, this is harkening back to a very specific memory, which is this is when I'm working at the HR intake at the local hospital. And I am in the middle of a horrible depressive slump. I've had an awful day at work. I pull the ripcord on something that I have thought about doing a lot before, but never actually did, which is what I had referred to up to that point as a nugget mistake, which was this back then, back in the good old days of 2018, Burger King nuggets, they knew exactly how much they were worth, and you could get 10 of them for 99 cents. And a nugget mistake was plopping down $7.50 for 5 10-piece nuggets and a medium fry. And
50
nuggets. 50 nuggets.
And
I get home and a medium fry. So I make this order. I am like, this is like one of the worst depression meals I've ever had, frankly. I go home. I am like fucking exhausted. I carry my sad Burger King sack up to my bedroom. I smoke a bowl and I open the bag and it is, the nuggets are there. The fries are there. Absolutely none of my sauces are. And I am too depressed to go back downstairs to get sauces. I eat 50 Burger King nuggets sauceless.
Raw nugs.
One of the most genuinely, like, one of the most depressing, like, meals of my life.
Holy shit.
I should have said that one for a second. I feel like I kind of overshot you there.
No, mine will be like whenever I get off like a 12-hour shift or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck it. I can't eat a healthy meal or whatever. I'll fucking slide through the Taco Bell and say, give me those cum churro things. Those churro cum balls. I need them now. 10 of them, please.
Yeah.
The hot churro cum balls.
The cum balls. We need the cum balls, please.
You know what I mean. Don't make me say the stupid name.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can you describe them again, please?
Okay, so it's like a donut hole had the churro outside. Yes. And inside is like cream cheese frosting, but it's melted hot.
I am not familiar with this.
Well, it's the Taco Bell churro cum ball, and it's available at your local Taco Bell.
Well, great. I'm gonna head up to Taco Bell to get the cum ball.
Yeah, pick me up some too.
Yeah.
If we go halfsies on the cum ball, and it's not depressing. If we just both have 5.
Yeah, because then we're just having dinner as friends. Besties. Anyways, thank you to Matt GameCube and Noisepace XYZ for hosting this and so many other great podcasts, including my other one, Fear Baiting. We're back, baby. We're doing we're covering stuff that has not struck work, because even though the SAG-AFTRA is probably not talking to podcasts of our size, you know, still acting in solidarity feels nice. Yeah. And also it's given an excuse to talk about some shit that's not just like, hey, here's another horror movie from the 80s that you haven't done yet. We watched Nosferatu last week. I will be honest, it was kind of hard to get through because silent films are really bad for my ADHD, I learned, but, you know, it was a good podcast.
Nosferatu bravely answers the question, what if one guy was every race you didn't like? What would you say to him?
I would simply say, Yeah, and so many other great podcasts. I'm on Tumblr, chiesautanakas.tumblr.com. Thank you to Agnan for our great cover art, at Kalalafair Art on Twitter. Thank you to Noah at OwlDude on Twitter for our intro-outro music, Lost in the Bug Snacks. Thank you to Kay for editing the podcast.
Yay! Well, you're very welcome, Sarah. I'm happy to edit the podcast. I have to get out all the parts where I hit the table or my dog jingles.
Yeah. And where can people find you?
People can come to my house with a 10-piece of the Taco Bell churro balls. Yeah, they can go to my Twitter and see all the videos of Gojo doing Fortnite dances at KDarlink. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. As you may know, the programming note, there's no new episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen until August 31st. And then we'll do an episode after there's 2 new episodes, basically.
Yeah.
This is just a special for the boys, because we had a lot to say.
Yeah. Yeah, and we also didn't want to let this episode linger for a month's time.
Yeah, who knows if we'll remember how sad the boys were. Who knows how many times I would have watched the episode by then.
Yeah. You'll be like that fucking video of Sungwon Cho just reciting the Peter Pan video.
Absolutely.
I will also say a programming note is that I will be back in school by the time the next episode goes up. So if we're a little bit late, sorry about it.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll get through it. But until then, I'm Sarah.
Okay.
Let's go get some snacks.
Let's go get some snacks.